All right, good morning. There were elections yesterday, and we're going to talk about them. And I got to say, none of them went the way the. It was a good night for the country last night in a lot of ways, but there's still some problems we got to look at. Mario, how you doing this morning?
No, I'm all right. Woke up sufficiently in time to where I was able to have a cup of coffee prior to going live, so better than last time.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, right? So there are still problems in Texas, you say?
There are still problems.
Yeah, there are many problems in Texas.
And Texas is basically going to be the battleground. So let's face it. The fact is, what is happening in Texas right now is the Muslims are taking over, and the Democrats have decided that they're going to spend all of their political effort, capital, and time on trying to make Texas blue.
Well, it's Governor Abbott, okay, Hot Wheels himself, has presided over essentially the Islamification and Jihadification of Texas through legal immigration. Okay, Texas has a crisis right now of legal immigration. So you have the past 4 years under Biden, all right, saw Texas as the basically the primary target for a basically total demographic creep, all right, across the state, from the 20 million something illegals that were just allowed to pass straight through the border. Okay, that has finally been shut down, of course, and I guess Abbott, along with several other Republican governors, did their best to spread the wealth, if you will, under the Biden administration by forcibly busing these migrants to blue states and blue cities, right? Which I get kind of from a showmanship perspective. All right, it's good political show, but honestly, you're just putting the illegals deeper into the interior of the country, where they'll be even harder to extirpate. Okay, but regardless, that was politics 4 years ago. All right. Um, but yeah, legal immigration is ruining Texas. All right. Texas has been most certainly messed with. All right. You've got outside of Houston in like what, Katy, Texas. You know what? Where the frick where is Aaron? He's a Okie. I need an Okie here. He's closer to the ground. Right?
Yeah, Aaron,
Aaron.
you've got it. Just click the link. Get in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, man. We need the power of the Olsenites, okay, to help interpret this one. So,
and for real, Aaron, click the link.
mhm.
Damn, son. Anyway, we need to get Aaron one of these. We need to get Aaron one of these lav mic sets for his cell phone. In fact, give me an address, Aaron. I'll send you this one.
You sending him like a brush fire mine bat signal, that way he can contact us.
Yeah, I'll even put one of the brush fire mind logo stickers on it for you. I see him popping in. We're just waiting for his camera and his mic to load up. So for Texas, right? I mean, like, Texas has been messed with. All right, outside of the Houston area, I believe it's in either in Katy, Texas, Frisco, okay, whatever, the suburbs around Houston have essentially been overrun with Indian immigration. Okay, to the point where they're now constructing like 100-foot tall, like, monkey penis god statues. All right, right.
Establishing their dominance over the land, and then at the same time, you've got Islamic immigrants essentially establishing Sharia zones, okay, Sharia compounds within
Epic
the state
City.
as well. All right, and all this is being done. Texas is kind of interesting. Texas, as far as electoral politics is concerned, okay, managed to do something that the Republicans have been trying to do since since W the Lesser, okay, which is convert the unwashed Hispanic masses, okay, into Republican politics, right? Texas actually managed to do that by getting you have a um, roughly 50% of Texas Hispanics who are primarily Mexican, right, now are Trump supporters, right, who vote Republican. Okay, so that's an amazing electoral demographic. Okay, achievement, right? That hasn't been produced really anywhere else in the country, save for say Florida. And then we're gonna follow up that success by compounding the problem with reckless numbers of legal immigration. Okay, thereby putting all of that in fucking jeopardy. Governor Abbott should resign. Okay, Governor Abbott should be basically pilloried. The people of Texas should be showering him with rotten tomatoes and rotten cabbages as he wheels his ass out the door. All right. So I blame Abbott, and it's only just recently that Governor Abbott's like, "Oh, hey man, we got a problem with immigration in this state." Yeah, no shit.
Real
You
quick,
presided
Mario.
over it you presided over it, and your donor class 100% supported it, and now you want to fucking cry about it? Save it.
Okay, Mario, two things real quick. I want you to tilt your camera forward just a hair. Bring yourself up in the frame a little bit. Perfect. Much better. Aaron, come on back in whenever you're ready. And real quick, so Sergeant Major asks, did Mario say legal or illegal immigration are hurting Texas? And he said legal.
Legal.
Not the illegal. Illegal immigration, excuse me, illegal immigration is also a problem. It is a problem in Texas. It is a bigger problem outside of Texas. A lot of illegals come in through Texas and then move out to the sanctuary states. We keep hearing Republicans, I get tired of hearing this, we're all for legal immigration, just go through the process. No, 10-year moratorium, bare minimum, because it is this simple. When the Donald said they're not sending their best and brightest, he may have only been talking about illegal immigrants when he was giving that speech. They're not sending their best and brightest. They're sending over, we're getting murderers and rapists and drug dealers. Right. And we've talked about the psychotic logical fallacy where the Democrats said, well, he said they're all rapists and drug. No, he didn't. He said that those numbers include rapists and gangsters and drug dealers and murderers, et cetera, et cetera. And that's true. But let me tell you something about legal immigration. Not sending their best and brightest, guys. Okay? We are not seeing massive numbers of, say, Western Europeans immigrating legally. We're not seeing massive numbers of white South Africans immigrating legally, seeking a better life. We're not seeing people coming out of Russia or Germany, etc., who are coming seeking a better life, trying to escape their psychotic communist governments, where, by the way, they are also being abused by immigration from the third world. The vast bulk of immigration, legal and illegal, is coming from the worst third world shitholes you can imagine. So even the immigrants with papers, okay.
The entire world.
No, stop. Have you seen the videos of this guy? I think he's Anatoly, or the janitor in the gym with the super heavy mop, does the gag where he goes around and he just picks up these giant weights while these big buff bodybuilders are working, and then they're all shocked, and he hands them his dust mop, and the dust mop is like solid steel, so it weighs 100 pounds, and they're shocked by, the heavy dude. Okay. I saw a short run across one of my reels yesterday where Arnold Schwarzenegger met that guy and was talking about what an awesome guy he was, and all the great things that this guy is. This guy is, personification of the American dream. He's a bodybuilder. He's achieved success with his comedy and his media. He's strong. He's healthy, and he's an immigrant. And I'm like, now hold up a minute. This is something that we need to work on the language, and we need to fix. Being an immigrant is not an accolade in and of itself. I am sick to death of hearing this person's wonderful because they're an immigrant and they did. No. Okay, if they did a lot of great stuff, that's great. That's awesome for them. Right?
But it's just like the trope of, oh, look at the poor boy that came up from the projects, came up from the poor this. Okay, you know what? If you started at the bottom and clawed your way up, that's just called being a fucking man. Okay? Being an immigrant is not in and of itself a positive criteria. Right? I hear it over and over again. I'm sick to death of it. Being an immigrant does not make someone morally good. At best, it is morally neutral.
Yeah.
It is morally irrelevant.
And at worst, it means that your country was fucked up, and you decided you had no ability to change the destiny of your own nation, so you decided to become some other nation's problem. Okay, is what it is. All right. Like I said, when our ancestors, when they crossed the ocean to the United States, which was the frontier, okay, they did it because they were escaping persecution in their homeland. Okay, but they're coming to the wilderness. They're coming to be pioneers, where there was no guarantee of safety, security, or even a full stomach. All right. That's very different than modern immigration, where people are basically fleeing their shithole country to come here to, more often than not, work for wages that are not living wages for the native population of this country. All right. So no, there is no inherent virtue to being an immigrant, but you're not going to hear that from either party. Okay. The Democrats being the ones who would, of course, virtually canonize, okay, the other, okay, through extreme outgroup preference, right? And the Republicans
pure xenophilia.
Republicans like John Corbyn, okay, who I'm sure we'll talk about later, don't see themselves as part of a nation, okay, but see themselves as existing within an economic zone with certain perceived shared values, right? And the only thing that matters is that the almighty gross domestic product (GDP) died for our sins. All right. That's the Republican and Democrat. All right. Neither one is neither one is a response to a people who are under siege in the lands their ancestors tamed. Okay. Which is the problem in America.
Steve points this out. At best, if they were all that good and they stayed home and they could stay home and fix their own countries. Yeah. And I want to take that a step further. We're seeing the evidence of it clearly all over our country. Not only are these people not of a quality where they could stay home and do good work and fix their own country, but they literally degrade, right? And this isn't I just feel less welcome because it's less white around me here. It's like, no. Wherever you have these enclaves of immigrants, this is not the show I thought we were doing this morning, but here we go. Wherever you have these enclaves of immigrants, I've seen it around Atlanta. We've seen the news out of Minnesota, etc. Wherever you have these enclaves, it's an absolute shithole, right? It's an absolute shithole. Now, Chinatown, right? Almost every major city has a Chinatown, and you go to Chinatown and get some good, authentic Chinese food. That magic Chinese rhino penis horn, whatever, herbal medicine, right? You can go down and have you ever walked into one of those shops and thought to yourself, wow, I could eat off this floor? Fuck no. And that's, and let me, the Chinese enclaves, those are the most common that are the least nasty. Okay, there's some Italian enclaves, some German enclaves, stuff like that. Those have some things in common, like Helen, Georgia, right? Leavenworth, Washington, where they've got the whole Black Forest German aesthetic enforced by local ordinance, so all the houses look like, something out of a Grimm's fairy tale, and they sell the amazing Schweinhauks and Rotkraut plates, fuck yeah, I'm all for it, right? I could go and get a legitimate Bavarian pastry and a great big old pitcher of beer, and everything is polished to Bavarian standard. I'm in, right? Show me one immigrant. Those are not immigrant communities, guys. Those are where immigrants from 150 years ago, right, settlers settled and decided to kind of cultivate that particular aesthetic and made a go of it and built something beautiful and wonderful, right? Show me an immigrant population from India, from Pakistan, from Mexico, right? From any of these places where you have anything other than an absolute shit pile of drug dealers and trash on the street, just filth. Okay? Just absolute filth. So yeah, absolutely. At minimum, 10-year moratorium on all immigration. That should be the number one campaign position of every Republican ever. But unless you've got something else on this, let's get to the four parties for a minute.
I have something.
Do you want to go first, Mario?
Okay. And also let's just be honest, okay? Let's not dance around it, okay? Remember, racism doesn't mean anything anymore. That word has no power, okay? So just go ahead and say it. So German settlers, okay, Irish immigrants, Italian immigrants, Polish immigrants, okay, whatever. They are coming. They're European. They are white. They are coming from Western civilization.
I thought I did say that.
They are infinitely. They are actually assimilable. Okay, people from India who worship big penis monkey god, okay, and live like 10 people to a single family home, and operate on the wages amongst 10 men of what 2 Americans would work for. That's not assimilation, okay? Muslims who come here from shithole countries and have to deal with the cognitive dissonance of the fact that, the Quran says that we're superior people. The Quran says that we're better. And then they immigrate to a Western country and look around and see structures and institutions and basically societal control mechanisms that they couldn't even dream of creating themselves back in their home countries, okay? And they look around in the United States and see that the impossible has been achieved, what they could never do in 1,000 fucking years, right? And what's their response to it? Humility? No. They must be evil. Okay, they're doing something wrong, so we need to form our own separate breakaway communities that will function like a metastasizing cancer upon the native proper. As Bill Cutting would say in Gangs of New York, those born rightwise by this great land. Okay, that's who the immigrant is today.
And to be clear, guys, when Mario talks about the monkey penis statue, this isn't just like some trope that he's whipping out.
Not hyperbole.
This is Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
This is in Houston, Texas, right here. Okay.
Yeah.
No, they've got at least one Krishna temple in Frisco, and then they've got another Hindu temple over in I think McKinney.
Yep, and they use the same blockbusting tactics that the Jews used back in the 1960s. All right, to break up neighborhoods and basically take them over with their own ethnic ilk. All right,
which is supposed to be illegal.
Which is supposed to be illegal, but
correct.
Laws are only applied to white people in this country.
Yeah, it was called blockbusting, and it is still a crime.
Yeah, especially me being a real estate agent. There's like 3 things that you're not supposed to engage in: blockbusting, redlining, and steering. But then people naturally congregate together, which is happening in DFW, especially in North Dallas, which is that's where I work, and I go inside their houses.
Frisco, right?
It's Frisco, McKinney. It's everywhere because it's Frisco, McKinney, and the suburbs north of Dallas is mainly where it's happening.
I don't have I'm going to look for it real quick, but there is a heat map that shows where all the H-1B visas are going in this country, and
while you look that up, Mario, let me ask Aaron. Aaron, this is something that I've noticed doing creating media for real estate agents. I've shot MAGA houses and I've shot Democrat houses, and I've talked about it a little bit on the show, at least around Metro Atlanta, and I have to assume that this is true around the rest of the country. Black households, like especially affluent black households, they have these altars in the house with, it'll be like an altar to Barack Obama or an altar to, it's usually Obama and some other civil rights leader. And I mean, dude, and I've shot houses where it's like, oh, it's a 5-bedroom house, mommy and daddy and 3 kids. And the last bedroom is essentially a temple to black activist leaders. And whenever I shoot those houses, whenever I shoot pictures of those houses, they just leave that stuff up there, right? They'll have they'll have a copy of Obama's book. They'll have a photo, like the official photo of Obama with some letter framed on the wall. They'll have the Obama stuff and all that very political, very partisan, racialized stuff all over the walls in the house on full display. But when I go and shoot a house where the family is Republican, especially if they're staunch MAGA, like flags, they'll take down the MAGA flag, they'll take down anything that they have.
They take them down. No, they don't take them down out here. No, they don't hide it out here.
Okay.
But the only
around Atlanta, people hide it because they're afraid that if somebody sees that on Zillow, that'll keep them from being able to sell their house. No, and I'm not even saying they're wrong. I'm just saying it's a phenomenon that I've observed, that I have observed.
Usually when I'm there, they're not selling the house typically, or they've already moved out. And the only altar rooms I've seen are the Hindus. They'll either take the study or a bedroom and set up their altar or convert the whole room into a worship space.
Maybe it's just an Atlanta thing then.
I've never seen a black altar one though. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's.
Do they? Is this like Maoist China, or is this like North Korea, where you got Kim, Kim Il Jong right next to Kim Il.
The Kim Jong Il. Yeah. The Kim Jong Il picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Mario, you remember me getting this at DLI? My autographed photo of Kim Jong Il.
It's not real.
Obviously.
But it's funny. But yeah. So
I did get it at DLI.
Tell me, in Atlanta, do they have Barack Obama placed up on the wall right next to Black Velvet Jesus? Okay.
Actually, yes. I've seen that too.
Yeah. Yep. and somewhere on the wall will be stenciled, "And still I rise."
Whoa!
Wow.
Nunya, you. Okay. Woo! Send us an email, Nunya. Send us an email to the show at brushfiremind.com. Okay? I would love to have you on to talk about that. That right there.
Is this where the smell's coming from?
Well, when you're dealing with Indians, what you're smelling, Aaron, is they'll actually burn cow dung indoors because it purifies the house, at least as far as they're concerned.
Oh God, I hope not.
Yeah,
is that why the floors are grimy?
That's what that funky ass smell is. Okay, it's they burn cow dung indoors because they believe that the cow dung smoke purifies the home. I'm not making it up. This is not hyperbole. This is their belief. Okay.
Jay, are you talking about the Black Hebrew Israelites?
I'm pretty sure he is. What else would that mean?
I assume, yeah.
We have those people in Oklahoma too. They're crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some crazy shit shooting house. Yeah, I mean. Okay, that's a whole other conversation. Real quick, we just hit one of my numbers. So let's go ahead and let's throw some chum to the base here. And then let's move on. Let's get back to last night's elections.
Let's get back to fuck John Cornyn. Okay, how about that?
I was here to mess with Crenshaw. I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
Crenshaw. Man, I liked Crenshaw when he first ran. Veteran, wounded in action. He came out as a big pro-gun guy, but then he's we have to vote on the red flag law thing so that it comes. No, there's only one answer. No is the only answer. If somebody says red flag law and you say anything other than no, fuck you.
He was a shell
in a hole.
He was a shill from the beginning, okay?
Yeah.
He was an image. He was a product that was placed in front of you, okay? That looked good, all right? That appealed to your innate sense of masculinity that you would vote for, okay? The problem is what people didn't understand is that Dan Crenshaw's like 5'6", okay? Never trust a manlet. You can't trust manlets, okay? Just like the black man who has a permanent chip on his shoulder, all right, which will surface whenever at a time least convenient for you, okay? So goes the manlet, all right? He's seething. He's coping and seething 24/7, all right? And he's angry. And if he can basically have power over you and damage you, he will do so, okay?
And I can't believe I fell for it because, I mean, I've basically lived my entire life tripping over tiny men. People little bitty guys, 6 foot and shorter. They're just constantly underfoot.
I'm the shortest one here, by the way. People in the chat be like, well, dagnabbit, I've seen everything. Okay, I've seen Mario be discriminating against every hue on the planet. I'd never seen him engage in height discrimination before. Oh Lord!
Poor Mario is an above average sized man, and you would not know that to see pictures of us in service.
And also, Aaron's a giant too. Like I can't compete against these physical units. I can't compete. Anyway, Texas primary.
Speaking of the images, Olson, what you got to do, man? So I'm looking at your camera angle and everything. You need to glue glow sticks to that ceiling fan so that you have a halo.
That's what I was gonna say. If anyone says anything about my fan, it's my halo today.
Nice.
Spanky, I know more white men with a chip on their shoulders than black. Okay, A, no you don't. And B, those are called Democrats and they're not men.
Yeah, you're spend some more time with black people. Actually, no, don't. But if you do, you will understand the fallacy of what you stated. Yeah. So
okay. You know what, Mario? That's fair. Spanky may be one of these avowed vocal anti-racist Democrats, which, of course, avoid large groups of blacks by all possible means, right? Even if they happen to be black, because as soon as they get a little money in their pocket, they move to a white neighborhood.
Yep.
Case in point, Don Lemon and every other face you see on television.
The Myron Gaines strategy.
Oh man, poor little Jay is getting his little butt hurt about the shortophobia. Sorry, Jay.
Who knew? After
I'm less worried about running you off now that I have my own tractor and I don't ever need to borrow yours again.
Who knew? After alienating virtually every minority in America, okay? after violating every term of service agreement he could possibly imagine, Mario finally ruined the show through height discrimination. That was the final nail in the coffin.
No doubt, though, Jay is one of my nearest neighbors, which means he lives probably 5 miles away, and he came in clutch, lending me a tractor before I got mine last year.
You you can't control your height, okay?
No,
And you got two options, okay? You got two options if you're short, all right? One, you can go psycho laboratory mode like that clavicular character, all right?
Yeah.
And basically pay for like $35,000 in cosmetic surgery or more to essentially defy what your genetics are, okay, and become like a walking basically cybernetic organism that's sterile. All right, that's one option. Or you can do what I would do in your situation: dwarf maxing. Okay, I'm like, if I'm 5'6", I'm gonna shave my head, grow a huge beard, and get fucking jacked. When you look at me, it's gonna be an anthropomorphic brick walking towards you. Okay, I'll have freaking full sleeve tattoos, armbands. Okay, I'll be walking around with a battle axe. Try me. Okay, dwarf maxing. That's the way. All right.
This is Mario's future.
Yeah, see? That's how it's done.
Oh my word.
The nice thing, and you know what? I'll be honest. I'll be honest.
Midget wrestling.
What the heck? What the heck?
And I'll be honest, in the sparring and the wrestling that I've done, okay, I'll let you in on a secret. There is one body type that I hate doing, whether it's wrestling, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, okay, or whatever. There's one body type. No, not. Yeah, yours is the obvious one, but then there's a less obvious one, which is the guy who's like 5'6" and built like a fucking brick. They're a pain in the ass to get. You can't like get a hold of them. Okay, they're like solid bricks. They got, with the short stubby arms. They're hard to hold down. All right, and when they attack you, they get right there at your center of mass. Okay, and can send your ass to the ground in a second if you're not careful. All right,
so that's fair. Yeah,
I hate fighting dwarves. All right, Gimli Romano. Thank you, Katie.
I went to one of the actual midget wrestling matches one time, and you know how in WWE or whatever they'll break out the folding chairs and the metal tables and hit each other with them, right? Like these guys really leaned into the gag of the miniaturization of the sport. They had cookie sheets.
When I was in college, we did it was back during this is like 99, 2000. Okay. Like the height of WWE. This was the age of like Triple H, The Rock, Mankind, Undertaker, Kane. You know what I mean? Like it was the age of legends in professional wrestling. You know what I mean? And yeah, we did our own little wrestling sideshow. And yeah, the cookie sheets.
It was after the Iron Sheik, but before The Rock.
If you hit someone right on their crown, okay, with a cookie sheet. Ooh. No, you can like hit them as hard as you want to. It doesn't actually hurt. It's like the principle of the egg.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like with the egg where it doesn't break, and the cookie sheet crumples around your head for maximum dramatic effect, but it doesn't hurt. It was the coolest thing. That was.
Yep. And that's why the midgets do it.
That's what I learned in college.
Wow. Again, not the show I thought we were having this morning. Okay, so let's talk about the bright side.
Okay, speaking of that, this show has been utterly derailed.
Yeah.
Are we gonna go back on track?
So let's get back on track.
So Cornyn,
maybe we can get some shorts in here.
John Cornyn, incumbent senator from Texas. Okay, will be going into a primary because there's like it's like 1% or less, whatever. I don't know what the exact laws are in Texas, but it's neck and neck. They're both like 48, 47%, right?
Right.
And then there was some rando who soaked up like 8% of the vote. I don't know, some black guy. I don't know what his deal is. All right. So Cornyn is like basically rhino supreme. If you want to take a look at like top rhinos who basically care only about GDP, all right, at the expense of everything and everyone else, John Cornyn is your man. All right. If you want to talk about a Republican senator who votes for every single piece of unpopular legislation for the Republican base, that would be John Cornyn. John Cornyn needed to be primaried years ago. All right. But finally now, we have a worthy challenger in Ken Paxton. Now, I don't know Texas politics, and maybe none you can help me out with this. I know that there's some like scandal or whatever like regarding Ken Paxton in Texas. I don't know what it is.
Is this the one that Brendan Herrera is going up against?
No. That's okay. Totally different. That's
Tony Gonzalez, the one who cheated on his wife with his secretary or whatever, and then she set herself on fire.
Yeah, Cornyn and Paxton. That's like the top of the card. Okay, your bottom of the card would be like Herrera. Okay, we'll get there. So I don't know what the scandal is with Ken Paxton, but Ken Paxton has been, as far as I understand from looking on the outside in, a tireless anti-corruption fighter in the state of Texas, and he'll investigate things and he'll prosecute stuff that pisses off his fellow Republicans. All right, and that's that's exactly what I want to see. If you want to talk about a Republican Party that has grown essentially calcified, scleric, all right, basically anemic, that is basically operating under its own petard, all right, for decade upon decade, that would be the Texas Republican Party. All right, they become soft, and they become too comfortable with their essentially them being a perma-red state. And they're unwilling and incapable of facing the challenges that Texas is facing in the 21st century. Okay, so yeah, Texas should be primarying the fuck out of virtually every Republican. All right, every Republican you've heard of from Texas, that is. So yeah, Cornyn and Trump didn't endorse anyone in this race here. Cornyn versus Paxton, which I appreciate. Basically, just stay the fuck out of it. Like right now, you're the King Midas of shit. Okay, everything you touch turns into freaking anthropomorphic feces. So thank you, Trump. Please stay away.
You mean like the Golgothan?
I don't know what that is.
The shit demon from Dogma.
From Dogma.
For Dogma.
From Dogma.
The Golgothan.
Sure, just orange. Okay. But yeah, so I would have preferred to see Ken Paxton. Just Cornyn was my neighbor from Nunya, Texas. Really? Cornyn was your neighbor. Are you rich? You live in the same neighborhood.
He watches this show.
Yeah, man. You need to buy a coffee. You need to buy a coffee or several hundred. So, okay. Anyway, I wish Ken Paxton had won outright, but it is going to the primary, and this does send a. It is. What are you doing?
With us.
There it is.
Looks like we're in charge of the gang now.
Cover the line, come on!
Complete with shit missiles.
Yeah, that's a good analogy for the Texas Republican Party. Okay.
Yeah,
I like that. All right. Anyway,
they were even wearing red hats and being in charge of the gang now because the shit missiles came and killed everybody.
Jay and Silent Bob representing the average Republican primary voter. That is correct. Yes.
Well, we live in a nation of midwits, man.
I know.
The result of 50 years of public education has been midwits, right? Not people who have a lukewarm 100 to 110, maybe 115 IQ, and they're just intelligent enough to believe that they're not stupid, but not to understand that they have a limited capacity for complex cognitive coherence, and they're out there voting.
Excuse me, sir. Are you like an autonomous derailing machine this morning? Okay, you're like the train car. You're like the train cars changing.
So anyway, you were saying Cornyn is a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, he's been in office for way too long. He's a rhino, and he's been there for decades. Okay, and you've got to change these people out. Okay, if you leave them in there long enough, eventually they become Lindsey Graham. All right, and that's what basically John Cornyn is of the same class as Lindsey Graham.
Your question got an answer, Mario.
Sold that house for $1 million and moved the fuck away from her. Okay, well, good man. All right.
read the most recent one.
Oh, it was just a vacation house, no biggie. Got it.
You didn't use Aaron Olson as your appraiser for that home, okay? That's a problem. Right? Look, if you no, never mind. I'm not gonna get Aaron in trouble. I was gonna make a joke about if you're trying to buy or sell a home in the state of Texas and you want to violate federal law.
Oh no,
no. That's polite. That's Aaron's polite way of saying shut the all right. So
I am a staunch opponent to that, and I tend to piss people off whenever I refuse to. Whenever they want to manipulate the number, I go, "No, this is my opinion. Respect my opinion."
Respect my thought.
That's right. So that's what's going on in the for the Texas Senate race. Okay. Hopefully Paxton and I like this the Texas GOP, all right, which is the only state GOP that's less respectable than Texas would probably be Georgia, okay, but the Texas GOP is stating that Ken Paxton can't win the Senate race, and John Cornyn is the only way to ensure that we don't get a James Talarico, all right, Democrat Senate candidate in Congress. Okay, now this is the same scare tactic that the Republicans have been using virtually my entire life. Okay, and I've been following politics basically to a degree commensurate with one's age since I was 12 years old. All right, and it is always at the end of the day, it is always well, you have to vote for our complete garbage candidate who doesn't give a shit about you and basically has all kinds of business interests on the side that are going to be directly affected by his candidacy. All right, because if you don't, then you're going to get a Democrat. Okay, now it's not good enough. Okay, can we aspire to perhaps something a little more than that? Okay, can we aspire to something more than, well, at least we did. The guy we got into office, well, he doesn't care about you, and he's not going to do anything that's going to make any positive improvement on your lives. And the demographic collapse of the country is going to continue, maybe a little slower, but everything is going to continue just the same. And in the end, white genocide will be the inevitability. Okay, but at least you didn't get full on feminist gay race communism right now. Okay, we won. No, we didn't. Okay, I demand better of my of my freaking representatives in public office. Okay, and that old playbook of we have to unite against the Democrat, it's not going to work anymore. I will literally not vote. I will never vote Democrat. Okay, ever. But I might not vote at all. I might not participate, or I might vote third party just to send a message that I'm not playing the game anymore. Okay, and if enough people did that. If you saw a national election where voter participation, voter turnout was in the single digit, that might send a message. Okay, but like I said, you're trapped in the game. The Democrats will probably still vote. You'd have to get them on board too. You'd have to have Occupy Wall Street from 2012 back, except this time it doesn't get sidelined and derailed by basically racial grievance politics. All right, but we don't have time machines. Okay. Anyway, that's Mario's rant for the day. So moving on to the Democrat side, we had James Talarico and everyone's favorite black girl magic, Jasmine Crockett. All right.
Oh snap!
Jasmine Crockett was humiliated, basically tarred and feathered, and is being rode off the rails straight into southern Arkansas as we speak. Okay, she's donezo.
She'll move somewhere, and she'll move somewhere and run again. And she'll likely move somewhere that is a safe blue district. And
Atlanta. She'll move to Atlanta.
Don't put that evil on me. I do want to talk about this one. I do want to talk about that one, though. There's a couple things there with Talarico, the guy that beat her. There was this dust up about 2 weeks ago where Stephen Colbert Talarico on and did an interview and did this whole virtue signaling thing where he came out on his cable show and said, guys, we were going to have Talarico on, but Donald Trump says we can't do it. He sent his FCC guy to tell us to censor us and tell us that we can't do it. And he did that by having the lawyers at CBS send us a letter that says you can't have Talarico on because of this archaic nonsense called the fair coverage doctrine, the fair use doctrine.
Equal time, basically. Equal time.
Equal time.
Yeah. Fair time. So, okay. So, you guys have probably heard this broken down a few times, but so the equal use doctrine, it's an FCC rule that if you have a candidate on your show, on your news show, etc., that you have to give equal time to the other candidates in the same race, right? So you can't just have the Democrat on and let them make their case and not have the Republican on to make their case. So there's a lot here that I want to touch. I'm going to try to hit it as fast as I can. This rule was created in the late 80s, right? And what it really was Rush Limbaugh created the AM talk radio phenomenon, and this was a move, right, to try and get that under control because Limbaugh was such a powerful voice there, right? And then it's basically gone completely unenforced forever. So that's part of it. And Corbert's making the argument that, well, it's just being selectively enforced now because they found a way that no, you've been able to act like an asshole and break the law for decades, and you thought that was the same as not being an evil asshole. But more importantly, in this one, he said that he wasn't being allowed to have Talarico on specifically because Trump sent his new FCC guy to come out and shut down speech and take away his First Amendment right. No. That is also a lie. And we found out almost immediately that the lawyers at CBS did not tell him he could not have Talarico on. They told him, if you have Talarico on, you will have to make equal time for the other candidates in the race. Let's be very clear here. This race was a Democrat primary. The only other candidates to whom he was required to extend equal time were other Democrats. And one of them, completely meaningless. Nobody knows who this person is. I don't even remember their name. But the other candidate was Jasmine Crockett. Crockett is now pitching a temper tantrum saying that she was cheated. And I got to tell you, it kind of looks like she was. Now, I can't believe I'm saying anything in defense of Jasmine Crockett, but let's not forget, go back to 2016, and Bernie was absolutely robbed of the Democrat nomination. He was basically a shoo-in for it, but it was Hillary's turn. So, and we've seen the evidence of. I know, Mario. I know. We saw stuff like Wasserman Schultz sending an email about how we need to attack him for being a Jew because that will help get him out of the race. And it's like, now, you know, that name Wasserman Schultz, that's interesting. It's interesting to hear this anti-Semitic hate being spewed from somebody with that sure is a super German name, Wasserman Schultz.
Big Jew eats a little Jew. Okay, tale as old as time. All right. So, anyway, yeah. So Crockett is saying she was cheated because basically huge numbers of voters in Dallas and Williamson County. Okay, and I'm gonna put on my electoral sorting hat. Okay, and assume that this is a predominantly black voting bloc. Okay?
Which part of Dallas is it? Is it Oak Cliff?
I don't know. I like I said, I don't understand Texas. All right, I lived in Texas for 8 months in San Angelo. Okay, Goodfellow Air Force Base. That's all I know of Texas. This is what I know of Texas. Okay, in the winter it's surprisingly cold. I didn't realize that. All right, in the summer it is unspeakably hot. Okay, I'm talking like I'm talking like Fallout New Vegas, like dying in the desert, dying in the Mojave wasteland, and basically the legions of Caesar find you. Okay, that hot. Okay,
but it's dry.
That is how inhospitable it is. Okay. Other thing I learned about Texas. All right, motherfuckers don't eat vegetables. A nigga can't get a vegetable. Okay, in Texas. All right, I'm out trying to get a salad. Okay, I can't get a salad. I can't get a salad that doesn't have pork or cheese sprinkled on it. All right, I can't get green beans that don't have pork mixed in with them. All right, motherfucker. I mean, I love barbecue and I love fried food, but a man cannot subside on that alone. Okay, I need fiber. I need fresh vegetables. Texas, why did you do this to me? All right, sorry. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. You yank. And that's right. Texas. All right. You can call me a Yankee faggot. That's fine. All right. So be it. You're right. Yeah, I need to get out. I need to go home. You're right. And I did. I left. Okay.
Well, I'm guessing if she got elected from Dallas, there's a large concentration of black people around.
Well, that's what happened. So a huge number of black voters. Apparently, they got bad information and they went to the wrong polling station. Okay, so that caught. Yeah, I mean, what do Democrats can't run elections? That's the thing. Like, no, I don't know if it's intentional or not. There's a massive competency crisis within the Democrat Party when it comes to like actual like implementation of the very mechanisms of democracy at the local level. Okay, I mean, for goodness sake, Chris, have you seen competency in the administration of elections in Fulton County, Georgia? Has this ever been something you noticed as a lifelong Georgia resident? No, I'm sure.
I don't know. The ever-mounting evidence seems to suggest that they're extremely competent at the stealing of elections in the Fulton County offices.
Mm-hmm. Well, your keyboard sounds like one of those like downloadable freemium games. Okay, where you like pop, where you
bubble popper,
pop the bubbles. You know what I mean? Like, okay.
I'm sorry. I don't realize it sounds like that. I don't know what to do to make it not do that.
No, you're fine, brother. Go do what you got to do.
I'll be right back.
I'm just breaking you. You got.
We won't even see you. Go away.
I'm breaking your balls, man. He doesn't understand. He's got that particular.
I was homeschooled, okay? Sarcasm was outlawed.
He's got that peculiar Zoomer type autism. Okay, it takes some getting used to. All right. Anyway, so yeah, Crockett is eliminated. Crockett, of course, has the. I mean.
Well, and so
it wouldn't be Crockett if she didn't have
Crockett's seat was eliminated. Crockett's existing seat was eliminated through redistricting, so she was running for a different seat.
She's running for a Senate seat. Okay,
right.
Yes.
So Crockett is gone for now.
She's gone, and she walks away with her narrative that she was cheated. Okay, which is what she really wants. Okay, because God knows these people, they never turn down an opportunity to be a victim. No. Do they?
Okay.
Moving on here. We've got Dan Crenshaw, Zyclops. Okay. But you don't.
What's tapping your audio, Mario? Oh.
My audio is just fine. I'm right here. Okay. But you don't know.
No, you're lagging. That's okay. That's an internet connection speed thing. That's okay.
So Zyclops, Dan Crenshaw, okay, yes, lost his primary. Basically, his shenanigans had finally become too much. Zyclops' shenanigans had become too much, even for the most normie-pilled Texas Republican to stand at this point. Okay, whether it's crash outs on Capitol Hill, whether it's getting shit faced in Mexico during trade negotiations, okay,
Right.
whether it's berating a 13-year-old girl, okay, over over definitions of Christianity, all right, one thing, or essentially voting with the military-industrial complex at every possible opportunity, all right, and voting against social conservatism at every opportunity, right? This has finally cost this man. And it is very, very well deserved. Okay, if we had once again, if we had a time machine, we should go back and basically apologize to Pete Davidson. Okay, from Saturday Night Live, he was right. You were right, bro.
Well, I also want to say that
in this one thing, all right, in this one thing.
So I wanted to say that his spat with Sean Ryan didn't help him.
I don't know about that, but I'm sure it didn't either.
Well, Sean Ryan was calling him out for insider trading, and they were going to have a debate.
That's right. Yeah.
And Sean Crenshaw's lawyers at the last minute sent red lines in the contract, and then it didn't happen.
Yeah, it's a tough one when you when you're a lawyer and you got to walk up to your client like, hey man, ain't gonna lie, we got God.
It's the same contract that everyone else signed, including the president.
Yep.
I was like, who are you, outside of being a Navy SEAL?
Right. So yeah, let's hope that the GOP establishment do not get their way. I want Ken Paxton. And maybe someone from Texas here. Maybe they already did it. Okay, in the chat, and I'd have to dig back through it, but I don't understand why Ken Paxton was like the darling of the Texas GOP for the longest time. Okay, he was like an actual prosecutor as attorney general. He was he would basically he would do prosecutions that were considered bold. Okay,
that's the problem. If you get elected as a Republican by the American people, and you go and do what the American people elected you to do, AIPAC comes in to shut your shit down.
Yeah, exactly. They'd rather have cowards. Let's just face it. The GOP establishment would rather have cowards, all right, running for office than men of conviction who are willing to basically upset the apple cart. All right, go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, he had some kind of lawsuit, I think last year or during the last Trump administration, where it was a big deal. Oh, he was impeached by the Texas State House in 23, but he was acquitted regarding bribery and abuse. So that's kind of maybe the reason why.
And it was the Democrats who attempted the impeachment, and there were rhinos as well who endorsed it, right? Because they didn't like Ken Paxton he's too problematic. Okay, he's willing to follow the crime wherever it may go, and if that leads to a Republican, okay, then so be it, right?
Well, that's the way it should be, though.
It is, of course it is. Of course it is. All right. So, what other? Let's see. Any other? Yeah. Oh, Brandon Herrera, the AK guy, right? YouTube, famous gun tuber on YouTube.
He almost won last time.
He did, and there was some. He lost by like a couple hundred votes. You know what I mean? Yeah. And whenever it's that razor thin, I'm not saying it was stolen, but you can't help but put on. The tin foil's right there. Okay, it's already ergonomically shaped to go right on your forehead. Okay, as you know what I mean, as a crown of destiny, and it's hard not to reach for it.
Oh wow, it's in a runoff.
Yeah, and he's in a runoff as well. All right.
Wow.
So let's
good on him. That's actually isn't that what happened last time?
Mm-hmm. No, I think he actually lost by more than 1% last time.
Oh, it was
but it was only by like 200 votes. It was only by like 200 votes. Okay.
CNN says it was crazy close. 2 years ago, out of 30,000.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's like Ann Coulter, said. Okay, if it's not close, they can't steal it. All right. So it's potentially by design. All right. So.
And he's running down in Houston, isn't he? Brandon Herrera.
It's I don't know where it's in southern Texas, I think.
Texas 23.
Look. I mean, I don't know. Look, I'm not an expert on Texas politics. Okay, I was told prior to the show that we were doing that this episode was going to be on basically the primary results in Texas. Okay,
Yes.
And my esteemed colleague has talked about anything but, right, the entire program. So
it's all good.
Pardon me if I cannot adequately headline this one. All right. So.
Texas is an interesting place. Oh, yeah, Texas is an interesting place. And
Comic Cathedral says San Antonio for Herrera. Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
But that looks like it also includes, maybe not. What's the other city out there?
El Paso.
Yes, El Paso.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like I said earlier, this ended up not being the show that I expected it to be.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. We had a good time. All right.
I was listening to you guys talking about Herrera, and yeah, so he's in a runoff now, and we mentioned it briefly earlier. His opponent is Gonzalez, I believe his name is. And he's the one that got caught in an affair scandal with a secretary or a staffer or something, and she set herself on fire. She's gone. She was immolated. She immolated herself.
Who did? A staffer for Gonzalez?
It's a crazy thing to set yourself on fire.
It's yeah. I mean, was she Hindu?
Tony Gonzalez girlfriend fire.
Doesn't look like it. She looks Hispanic. She looks like she's from South Texas.
No, get the hell out of here with the pop-up bullshit.
Staffer Nunya says.
Fiery suicide death of Tony Gonzalez's aide blamed on another man in horrific police report. A shocking police report. Okay, and this story is from February 23rd. Like, this is a couple weeks ago. Shocking police report obtained by the Post revealed that a dying aide to Rep. Tony Gonzalez, R. Texas, told first responders her estranged husband was having an extramarital affair with her best friend. Regina Santos Aviles, 35, a regional director for Gonzalez, Texas, made the claim after she set herself on fire and emergency responders fought to save her life. This is